Hello everyone, my name is Sunil Kumar and I am from the Indirect Tax Research and Advisory team of Taxman. I wish a very happy new year to all of you. So today we would be discussing a very new incentive scheme which has been made effective from 1st January 2021, that is RoadTip scheme, remission of duties and taxes on exported products. Now, though the government has not notified any tariff codes or incentive rates and also the regulations relating to this scheme, but yes, they have provided the overall structure that how this scheme would operate. Here it is important to note that with effect from 1st January 2021, it is mandatory for all the exporters to make declaration in the shipping bills or bill of exports, as the case may be, their intent that whether they want to claim the benefit of this incentive or not. So if as an exporter you are either not making any declaration or making any incorrect declaration, in that case the benefit under this scheme would not accrue to you. Therefore, it is imperative to understand the each nook and corner of this new scheme. So in this background, let us start our discussion on this new scheme. So in our presentation, we would be discussing a bit background of the RoadTip scheme and how it has evolved. We'll also discuss the roles and responsibility of RoadTip committee. Once we cover the RoadTip committee roles and responsibility, we'll try to understand the features of RoadTip scheme. The benefit which would available under this scheme would primarily be in the forms of scripts, okay, which can be utilized for making payment of import duties, and it can also be transferred to the other IEC holders, similar to our existing MEIS and SES schemes scripts. So, since these scripts, duty credit scripts are goods per se, therefore their sale to other IEC holders would have certain GST implications. So, we would be discussing the GST implications on the same also. Post covering the features and GST implication, we would be covering that how we can claim the benefit, how we can avail the benefit, and how we can transfer these scripts to other person and how we can utilize against our duty liabilities. Once we cover the RoadTip scheme, we'll quickly understand the fate of our existing MEIS and SEIS schemes. And after that, we'll quickly deliberate on certain key issues and the way forward for the exporters. Okay. So in on March 2018, USA filed a claim before WTO, arguing that various Indian export schemes such as EOU, ACZ, Advanced Authorization, MEIS, ACIS, etc., are not in line with the WTO norms. USA argued that these schemes are inconsistent with the subsidies and countervailing measures agreement signed between the member countries of WTO. In this regard, WTO ruled that yes, these schemes are not in line with the WTO norms. Notably, the government has already filed an appeal before the appellate forum of WTO on against the order of the WTO dispute settlement panel. In the meantime, on March 4th, 2020, the government has announced a new scheme, that is RoadTip scheme, and this scheme is basically referred as RoadTip scheme. Sorry, WTO compliant scheme. Why it is referred as WTO compliant scheme, we'll discuss shortly. So, as I said, on March 4th, 2020, the scheme was first announced. The cabinet approved this scheme on March 30th, 2020. The RoadTip committee was formed on July 30th, 2020, and as you know that with effect from 1st January 2021, this scheme has been made effective. Now, if we see the existing MEIS, SEIS schemes, these schemes also provides incentive in the forms of scripts. However, these are provided to offset the infrastructure inefficiencies in India, while RoadTip tries to achieve the concept of zero rating. So, under the existing structure of indirect taxes, we can see that there are so many taxes which are subsumed in the product and getting exported with the product outside India also, because these are not getting reimbursed in any way. For example, mandi tax, electricity duty, coal cess, local taxes, etc. So as an exporter, we don't get the reimbursement of these taxes from the government. So this scheme tries to reimburse the taxes and duties which are not getting exempted or refunded under any other existing scheme, so that the benefit of zero rating can be achieved. That is why this is called as or referred as WTO compliant scheme, because it tries to achieve the benefit of zero rating. The scheme basically replaces the existing ROSTL scheme, which is for textile sector, and the MEIS scheme. The benefit would be computed, the incentive amount would be computed as a percentage of FOB, similar to the drawback available under Section 75 of the Customs. Incentive which is granted to be which would be granted to the exporter would be credited directly to the electronic credit ledger account. From there, the exporter would be able to generate the credit scripts, which can be used for making payment of import duties, or it can also be transferred to the other IAC holders. Now, the screenshot of advisory, screenshot attached in the advisories depicts that these scripts would be valid for a period of 1 year. Now, as far as the GST implications are concerned, we may have primarily two questions. First, whether the amount which I have received from the government of India in the form of remission incentive, will it be subject to tax or not? And second would be, if I am selling my scripts to the other person, will it be subject to tax or not? So as far as the incentive amount is concerned, tax would not require to be paid, because amount which is credited to the exporter is primarily a remission of taxes. It is not a consideration for any supply. Therefore, there would be no GST implication on the same. As far as the sale of scripts is concerned, yes, credit scripts are goods under the GST law. These are classified under tariff heading 4907. Though exemption has been provided for supply of these scripts, therefore, as such, no tax would be required to be paid on the output supply. But since it's an exempt supply, therefore, reversal of input tax may be there, primarily the common input services. For sale of these scripts, the supplier would be required to issue the bill of supply to the buyer. So, road tip committee, which is primarily responsible for providing or recommending the road tip incentive rates to the government of India. This committee was formed on July 30, 2020, and as I said, that the primary objective is to recommend the incentive rates to the government. And to achieve this objective, they are responsible to work out the different modalities which enables them to calculate the taxes, duties which are not getting reimbursed under any other scheme as of now. And in this regard, they would be interacting with various ministries, export promotion councils, stakeholders, etc. Now, in this regard, the RoTEP committee on August 2020 requested various export bodies and association to provide various details so that rates of RoTEP can be determined. Now, for claiming the benefit under RoTEP, the exporter would be mandatorily required to indicate its intent in the shipping bill or bill of export. For this purpose, the exporter would be required to select RoTEP Y option in the shipping bill or bill of export, as the case may be, if RoTEP benefit is available. Uh, as of now, incentive rates and ITC codes are not notified by the government. So until these codes and incentive rates are not notified, it is mandatory for all the exporter to make declaration for all the items in the shipping bill or bill of export. So if you are not making declaration in the shipping bill, so the benefit would not accrue to you. Once you file the claim in the shipping bill or bill of entry, this would be processed by the risk management system of the department after filing of the EGM. Shipping bill, based on the risk profile of the taxpayer, the shipping bill would either go to the risk management, the shipping bill would either be go to the officers or it may directly be processed. If it goes to the officer on his own grants script to the grant incentive to the exporter. Important to note that if the exporter or shipping bill is suspended for drawback, the benefit would also not be available under the RoTEP scheme. Now, once the files are processed, the benefit would be credited to the electronic credit ledger of the exporter's account. As of now, it is basically disabled because the rates and the ITC codes are not yet notified. But once it is notified, the exporters can generate scripts from their credit ledger account, and the exporter can also club multiple shipping bills of a single port for generating a single script. These scripts, as I already discussed with you, can be utilized for making payment of import duties, or it can be transferred to the other IC holders also. Here it is important to note that there is bit conflict between the government documents. First, the press release issued by the government provides that these scripts can be utilized for making payment of basic customs duty only, while the advisory issued on 1st January provides that the exporter can use it for making payment of import duties. So the fate whether the scripts can be utilized for making payment of IGST or social welfare surcharge is not clear as of now. So let's wait for the fine notifications in this regard. Then this question would be answered. Okay, so once I generate the scripts from the portal, it can be utilized for making the payment or it can be transferred to someone else. For utilizing the scripts for making payment of the import duties, the exporters in bill of entry would be required to use RD as a code along with the notification number, and the amount would be debited against the import duties. Important to note that the customs officers have been given power to suspend the scripts of the exporters also. And once these scripts are suspended, the exporter would not be able to utilize for making payment or it can also not be transferred to the other uh, exporters, IC holders. We have given the detailed process of creating a rotate credit ledger account and the screenshot of that how we can transfer, utilize, avail the benefit of this script, the scripts as an Excel one attached to this presentation. So you can refer the same, and if you have not created your account yet, you should create the same. As far as the existing MEIS and SEIS schemes are concerned, so for MEIS, we all know that it has been discontinued from the 1st January 2021. For the period of September 1, 2020 to 31st December 2020, the government had introduced certain caps for giving the benefits, and later on it provided that this would affect only 2% of the total exporters. These cap limits have been challenged by few exporters before various high courts. So the matter is right now pending whether is it correct to uh, uh, provide caps on this incentive or not. As far as SEI scheme is concerned, so our existing FTP policy was extended till March 31st, 2021. While press release on March 2020, the government has provided that the decision on continuation of SEIS it will take at a later stage. But as of now, no notification or no clarification has been provided by the government. Recently, in November last year, an official has made a statement reported by the Economics Times that the government is looking for a altogether new form of SEIs. So we are waiting for the same. Once it is announced by the government, we would be maybe recording a discussion a video on the same, or would come up with a webinar as required. So let's wait for the new SES scheme also. Now the existing road tip scheme restricts the benefit to SEZ units, EU units, advanced authorization holders, etc. So these export related schemes are not entitled for the benefit of road tip scheme. This has been clarified in the advisory. But in our view, these entities also procure goods from the DTA, and yes, taxes are subsumed in their products also. So benefit would also must be the benefit must also be extended to these exporters. Second is notifications, etc., are not yet notified, though it has been clarified with the press release that it would be effective from 1st January 2020. The manner of utilization is not clear that whether we can claim this benefit against the payment of IGST and social welfare surcharge or not. The power has been given to the customs officer to suspend the scripts and exporters from availing the benefit of this scheme, but grounds on which this can be suspended are also not clear, so we would need to wait for the fine notifications in this regard. So way forward for the exporters, those who have not yet created the electronic credit ledger account, it is recommended that they should create this ledger on immediate basis. Uh, as an exporter, you must ensure that proper declaration in the shipping bills and bill of exports are getting made, so that tomorrow you would not be facing any issues of the incentive which accrue to you. uh, we recommend to various association, export councils and exporters to file representation in relation to various export related schemes for which the benefit as of now is not available. because in our view, the benefit should also be extended to these units or schemes. Uh, and since it's a new scheme, there would be different legal and procedural requirement. Exporter must keep themselves ready to ensure any zero loss. Interestingly, these duty credit scripts qualifies as instrument under the customs law, and allegation of fraudulent availment and utilization of scripts of value of more than 50 lakhs invoke arrest provisions under the customs law, and these offences are cognizable and non-bailable. Therefore, we highly recommend to take a professional support to ensure compliance as well as the zero loss. So this is all from our side. In case you have any query, you can reach out to us. Uh, uh, Thank you. Thanks a lot.